Okay, hello everybody. So, if you are joining me, thank you very much. I just decided to do this impromptu stream right now because, well, let's be honest, that's pretty much what everyone is talking about right now. So I figure I sort of lend my voice to the conversation. So for those who are unaware, what I'm talking about is the Academy Awards were on last night, and typically, myself included, for most people, the Oscars is kind of like I don't give a shit type of moment. Like, who cares, right? Like, who gives a shit about the Academy Awards, right? They're very pretentious. They're very uptight. There's not a whole lot of black or brown or Asian people involved usually for the most part. It's just in general, it's just kind of like why, right? Who cares? Well, last night the Oscars happened, and and a couple of one big, really interesting, unexpected thing happened. Um, and a lot of people were talking about it. So for those of you who don't know, last night Chris Rock, the comedian, was presenting at the Oscars, and like I just said, Chris Rock is a comedian. He's well known. He's highly respected. A lot of people like him. Very popular. Very long, illustrious career and whatnot. And he's hosted the Oscars, a couple times or so. Um, well, tonight he was just presenting, and he was as he was presenting, he made a joke, and he made a couple jokes. One of them was at the expense of Will Smith's wife, Jada Pinkett Smith, and it just so happens that Jada and Will were seated right up front, which makes sense because it was quote unquote his year or whatever. But they were seated right up front. Chris Rock made a joke regarding Jada's appearance and the fact that she's bald and or losing her hair or whatever. Um, and and then apparently Will Smith didn't like it or Jada didn't like it, and so Will Smith went up there during live television, live national broadcast television, and slapped Chris Rock pretty hard. Actually, he didn't hold back. He just let him have it, you know. And then he walked off, and then that would have been it, right? That would have been enough, right? Like that would have been enough to start up like conversation. But like, if you did not see what happened right after the slap, Will Smith cursing the fuck out of Chris Rock, it was bleeped out, right? It was bleeped out for us here in the U.S. in America. But there were a lot of clips circulating right now, and one I forget, like one sort of Japanese news channel, whatever, or station was broadcasting it. Someone clipped that and aired it, and Will Smith basically, you know, what did he say here? He said this twice. He said, "Keep my wife's name out of your fucking mouth." He said that twice. He didn't say it like I just said it. He was fucking furious. He's pissed. You know what I mean? And so that's what happened. A few updates from this morning or last night. Chris Rock has decided not to press charges against Will Smith. And just I guess people are just trying to move on. You know, people are trying to move on from that. Except that it's a big deal, man. You know what I mean? It's a big deal. Like for me, I'm still thinking about it. Well, obviously, I'm still thinking about it because I'm talking about it right now. Um, but at first, I thought it might have been staged, right? And yeah, like for people saying it might be staged, they had a point too. But then again, I have to remind you guys of this: if you saw the clip, the unedited clip of Will cursing the fuck out of Chris Rock, that might give you pause. You might have actually reason to believe that they actually might be real, right? And you know what? I have some thoughts on the whole thing. I have some really big thoughts. Number one, like I have to say, if you're new to the channel, please like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. Okay, now that boring stuff's out of the way, we can get into the really juicy stuff. Um, so a few things came to mind when I first saw this clip, right? When I first watched it, because I don't have a TV. Again, I don't have a TV, so I watch things on my phone or my laptop. So I wasn't watching it quote unquote live, but I was sort of browsing, the internet during that time. And me personally, I don't give a fuck about the Oscars for the most part. I don't care. I used to care, but then as I got older, I progressively each year I sort of lost interest. Right. Well, this year came up, and I was actually looking forward to it, and the main reason, ironically enough, was because people were saying that Will Smith was actually going to win, an Oscar this year. And I was like, oh, cool, it's awesome. You know what I mean? Because even though Oscars sort of have a pretentious reputation, it is still considered to be, the top honor in Hollywood, right? For, in order to win an award, if you get an Oscar, oh, you're Oscar winner. And so that's like the only reason, honestly. That's the only reason I was interested in watching this year's Oscars, was because Will Smith was going to win the Oscar. I think, you know what I mean? As more and more, as time went on, it became more obvious that, he was the front runner for the Oscar. So you know what? I turned it on, or I turned on, my phone or laptop or whatever, and I was like, all right, awesome. I hope Will wins. You know what I mean? I've been a fan of Will Smith since Fresh Prince days. Since like, Fresh Prince of Bel Air. From like the early to mid '90s, Independence Day, Bad Boys. Like I was a little kid back then, but you know what? Like I remember watching Fresh Prince with my family. You know what I mean? It was just like good memories, right? And so for me, I'm a fan of Will Smith. Okay, I'm also a fan of Chris Rock, but like I said, I grew up watching this guy's movies and shows and all that stuff, right? Like so, of course, naturally, when finally they come to this year, and they're saying that, oh, it's Will's year, he's gonna win Oscar. I was like, awesome, I can't wait. I want him to win. You know what I mean? I genuinely want this guy to win an Oscar, right? It seems like he's been after this for like a long time, right? And he's been nominated a few times and never won. Well, people are saying this is his year, he's gonna win. Great, awesome. So but like aside from that, I don't give a shit about the Oscars. Like I think, what was it, that movie Coda that won Best Picture? Yeah, guess what? Nobody's talking about it. Like nobody's fucking talking about it. You know, and it's not to slight on anyone who worked hard on these movies or anything like that. Good for them. But like I said, I don't give a shit. Right? I don't care. I like, aside from like Steve Yeun being nominated, I think last year, he was like, it's kind of sad to say this, like he's like the first Asian American, or sorry, Asian male person to ever be nominated for Best Actor, which is awesome and kind of sad at the same time. I don't normally give a fuck about this kind of stuff, but so that's sort of my interest and my connection, to like watching the Oscars this year. Is I wasn't originally gonna watch anything but Will Smith winning the Oscar. That's it. When it came, like, when they were going to announce the Best Picture or Best Actor award, I was like, awesome. I'm dialed in. I want Will to win. I'm super confident he's going to get it. It's going to be an awesome moment for his fans, for him. You know what I mean? It's going to be great, and it's going to boost his career. You know what I mean? The sky's the limit for him now. Well, unfortunately, some things happened. He did win, which is awesome. But another thing happened before then, and I feel like it sort of overshadows that. And I actually made a Facebook post about this earlier. I said, please don't cancel Will. He was just standing up for his wife, which he was. You know what I mean? And I think his motivations, I think his heart was in the right place. I do. Right? I do. I don't think there's a problem with standing up for your woman, standing up for your wife, your family. You know what I mean? Whether that be your wife or your kids, or your parents, or anything like that. Family should come first, 100%. And in that regard, Will Smith has my total respect. He's always had my respect. I think the guy's awesome. I fucking love his movies. What do you want me to say? But I have to sort of pull back and be completely honest here. I don't think that was the quote unquote smartest thing to do. Okay. Now that we moved on from whether or not I agree why he did it, I agree why he did it, but I don't agree with how he did it. And I feel like it was an unfortunate. The whole thing was just unfortunate. Not that Will winning the Oscar was unfortunate. That was awesome. But the fact that we, including myself right now, I'm a hypocrite. But the fact that we're talking about, this, him, quote unquote, assaulting or slapping Chris Rock, right, at the Oscars. We shouldn't be talking about that. We should be talking about how Will Smith has finally won his first Oscar, because that's a big deal. That's a positive thing. That's what we should be talking about, but we're not. You know what I mean? All the news outlets, all, myself included, and other content creators on YouTube, just look. I mean, look, you'd have to live under a rock in order to not hear about this shit. Yes, Will Smith, slapped Chris Rock last night at the Oscars. That's what happened. And it's unfortunate. And again, like I said, I agree why he did it, but I don't agree that it was the smartest thing for him to do at that time. And I can't pull up the clip because I'm pretty sure if I do, this will get, taken down or demonetized or whatever. So unfortunately, I can't show it. But I mean, let's be honest, it's not that hard to find. So, It's like you can go anywhere. You don't have to come to this stream to see it. Um, but basically, a couple things too. Like I said, I have a lot of thoughts on this, and I have a little bit of time, so that's why I'm making this video right now. It's not gonna be super long. But if you guys want to comment below or anything like that, let me know your thoughts. Please let me know. I would love to know. Um, but I had a couple thoughts, and one of them was that a lot of people talked about this already, but it's the fact that if you watch the clip right after Chris Rock makes the joke, I think the joke was something like he was making fun of Jada's head and the fact that she's bald now because she has alopecia. Forgive me if I'm saying it wrong. I'm kind of ignorant to that, but apparently it's a disease where you start losing your hair amongst other things, and it sounds really unpleasant, and it sucks. So yeah, I'm sure that's a very kind of sensitive issue for her. But anyway, Chris Rock was making a joke about it, not about the alopecia thing, but the fact that she was bald, and the fact that he couldn't wait to see GI Jane 2, which I mean, let's be honest now, GI Jane was in 1997. That's like fucking 25 years ago. You know what I mean? If you're gonna make a joke, I mean, honest, I'm not encouraging him, but maybe something more recent. I mean, like GI Jane, really? Like anyway, so but anyway, so yes, like, and as soon as he made that joke, a lot of people laughed, right? I didn't personally think it was a funny joke, but a lot of people laughed, and guess what? Will Smith was also laughing. He was also laughing, but you know who wasn't laughing? Jada, and Jada was sitting literally right next to him. You don't have to be a goddamn genius to fucking figure out that she wasn't having it, right? Will laughed, she wasn't. People are saying that Will looked at Jada and Jada gave him a look back. You know what I mean? Kind of like a very disapproving look. I didn't see that. I'd have to go back and look at it myself. I've seen the clip many, many times. I've seen it a lot. I have, but I don't remember that part. But that's what people are saying. And then not long after that, like a few seconds later, Will Smith marches on fucking stage on live goddamn television, slaps the fuck out of Chris Rock, and then walks off like a boss. And not only that, like I just said before, he curses him out, and that, I mean, like, it's kind of crazy. Like it's just still, people are still processing what happened, right? Like this sort of thing is just so surreal. It's so over the top and so unexpected and unfortunate that you would think it's staged, right? You would think so because look, all right, look, let's say I personally don't think it was staged, but let's say it was staged, right? For sake of that argument, let's look at the reasons why they would try to stage something like that. Number one, the Oscars. Again, nobody gives a fuck about the Oscars. Okay, they don't care. Even the most pretentious fucking old ass fucking people who love cinema and are huge cinephiles don't like. They're the only ones who watch this shit, right? And the ratings for the Oscars have been fucking low as fuck. Like I just said, nobody really cares about the Oscars anymore. So because of that, not a whole lot of people watch them anymore, right? So those are the facts. Those are the numbers right there, sort of, so to speak. Um, and so and then it's just like, it's just, yeah. I mean, Oscars are losing their relevance. I mean, I'd argue that they haven't been relevant for a long fucking time. Um, but hey, I'm not directly involved in that industry, so what do I know? But I'm just saying, as an outsider, as a spectator, I could give a fuck about the Oscars, and apparently, so could the rest of the world. Well, they hired a producer for this year, and his name is Will Packer, and he's produced a lot of films, um, which are usually fronted by African American cast or Latino, anything like that. It's usually people of color, right? And good for him. That's awesome. We need more. We need more people. We need more producers like that with influence in Hollywood, because representation does matter. And Will Packer, I don't know if he's worked directly with Chris Rock yet or not, but anyway, the point is that he also produced Girls Trip, right, which has Jada Pinkett Smith, right? She's in that, so they have that sort of relationship there, that connection there. The point is that I'm saying that in the highly unlikely event that this was staged, like I'm saying, there are reasons to believe that it could be staged. Now, I'm not saying that it is, because for all intents and purposes, I think this shit was real, and that's what makes it more unfortunate, right? Is that this shit was real, and because of that, luckily luckily for Will Smith's sake, Chris Rock has decided not to press charges for now. And technically, technically, according to California law, he could still file them within the next 6 months. He could change his mind. But despite the whole goddamn world seeing what happened last night, Chris Rock is the only person who could actually do anything. He's the only person who could press charges against Will if he wanted to. Now, I don't personally think he will. I don't know either of these guys, but I don't think he will. Right? I don't think he will. I mean, I do believe that Chris Rock and Will Smith have some sort of relationship. They have been friends for a long time. I know that Chris Rock and Jada Pinkett Smith have worked together before, obviously, like on the Madagascar movies. And Chris Rock was on the Fresh Prince, like back in the way back in the fucking 90s. So there is that relationship there. They're not total strangers, which does sort of make what happened kind of sting a little bit more. It's unfortunate, that just it's unfortunate that the whole thing happened. Period. Let's be honest now. Okay, I've heard so many arguments from mostly from women, well, pretty much all from women, um, saying that Will was right and that he was justified and that that's what any real man would do and all that stuff. And you know what? I agree. I agree. But professionally, PR wise, that's a fucking nightmare, man. You gotta understand, like, you're not in this guy's position. He is not only a husband and a father, right? He is an actor. He's a public figure. You have to be careful what you do and say in the public, especially at the Oscars. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, as stupid as they are, the Oscars are the last place that I would expect anything like this to happen because of sort of the reputation that the Oscars have. Because of quote unquote how pretentious and uptight and upscale they are. Shit like this just does not happen. You know what I mean? And you know what? Fuck it. In fact, it doesn't really happen at any award show for that matter. You know, but it happened. It happened, and because of that, like I said before, I don't know. I don't know any of these people involved. I don't know Will. I don't know Chris Rock. I don't know Jada. I don't know anyone. All I am is just a fan. I've been a fan of all three of them for fucking years, for decades. You know what I mean? And to see this happen unfold last night, to see this unfold last night was surprising. It was shocking. You know what I mean? And it was kind of entertaining, but at the same time, it's like um, it makes it worse. It makes it worse when you see people like Will Smith and Chris Rock involved in this stuff. You know what I mean? It's like because these are people that you admire, people that I admire, people that I respect. You know what I mean? That I admire their work. I've been a fan of their work for fucking decades. You know, and to think that okay, this is real. You know what I mean? This shit really went down. Will Smith really assaulted, like another another person at the Oscars. It's surreal, but it happened, and everyone is processing it. I just feel like as a fan of Will Smith, it couldn't have happened to him on a worse night. It just couldn't have. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, like maybe they should have thought, oh, okay, no, Chris Rock before he went out there, maybe don't make a joke about someone who's expected to win that night. You know what I mean? Who has a lot riding on this night and whose career could actually benefit from this a lot. You know, like I mean, it's just not like you gotta understand. Yeah, this has never happened before, but you have to understand why it happened. You pissed off someone close to him, and not just anybody close to him. His fucking wife. You know what I mean? Now, like all personal feelings aside, whatever you think of these people, whatever you think of, Jada or Will, and their relationship, which let's be honest, in the past couple years or so, has been really fucking open. It's been out there in the open, okay? Like Will and Jada are people that are not afraid to put everything out there. Not only are they public figures, but they like sharing, right? Sometimes maybe a little bit too much, about their personal lives, or about their sex lives and stuff like that. And I don't know. It's just it's unfortunate, man. It's unfortunate. I really just wanted to see Will win. I just wanted to see Will Smith win his Oscar. That's it. And I was just gonna go to bed. It was gonna be another boring ass night. But you know what? I would have been happy to have just seen that. You know, now we wake up and there's all this drama, and everything like that, and it gives not only myself, but it gives people like myself, other content creators, and just the world in general, content to talk about, stuff to talk about, you know. And while it was entertaining, probably entertaining to a lot of people, Because there are a shit ton of memes about it now. You got to think like this cannot be beneficial to well, I'm a Chris Rock. Chris Rock could probably use it, but Will Smith, like, it could not help. You know what I mean? It can only hurt his career. I mean, like, Oscars are supposed to be places where you win awards and it helps your career. It's just ironic that probably what was supposed to be the biggest, one of the most important nights of Will Smith's career is turning out to be one of the most controversial, and people are talking about it for all the wrong reasons. You know, and hey, man, I hope. Just that being said, I'm gonna wind this down now. But that being said, I hope Will Smith's career continues to flourish. In spite of what happened tonight, and I hope he doesn't get canceled or any sort of bad things happen to him. Because, like I said, I don't know the guy at all, but I'm a fan. I'm a fan, and it's just like the Chicago Bulls and Michael Jordan. I grew up watching this guy's movies and TV shows and everything like that. And I will continue to do so as he puts it out. The same thing with Chris Rock. The same thing. Well, I mean, Jada to a lesser degree. She was fine as on that awful. It's an awful movie, but she was fine in this movie called Woo, which came out like in 1997, 1998. She was fine as hell. I'm not gonna lie. She was fine as fuck in that movie. Terrible movie. But she was great in that. Aside from that, I don't really care about Jada Pinkett Smith. I like, you know what I mean. I've maybe have my own thoughts on her. And her quote unquote entanglements or whatever. Um, but it's just like, as a fan of Will Smith, I'm happy that he won the Oscar. I hope that this doesn't hurt his career, and if it does have any negative impacts, that it doesn't hurt it too bad or derail it. Because it's like, man, like, like I said, this was a night for him, and not just for him, but for his fans. And it is sad. I mean, it gives us everyone something to talk about, but it's also sad because, in all honesty, this shouldn't have happened. You know what I mean? This really shouldn't have happened. Will could have easily talked to Chris Rock backstage, right? Maybe without the violence or anything like that. Or pulled him aside after the show and say, "Hey, man, don't talk about my wife like that." Basically what he said to him earlier, except without the shouting and cursing and slapping him and all that stuff. And like I said, I get why he did it. I'm not saying that a man should not stand up for his family. He should. He absolutely should. And I think in that regard, Will, at least, thought that he was doing the right thing. It was just the wrong place at the wrong time. You know, that's basically it. It's the wrong place at the wrong time. And, I'm sure, look, this is, I mean, I'm sure people will start losing interest this week already. I think, in a couple weeks or so, it won't completely go away, but people won't be talking about it as much. Because that's just the nature of the world. It's the nature of news and pop culture. Yeah, it's a big deal. Yeah, it was shocking and probably gave the Oscars their biggest ratings in fucking years. Let's be honest now. I guarantee they're gonna bring Will Packer back. They're bringing his ass back, and they should, because I feel like he did a good job. Some of the comedy. Amy Schumer actually surprised me with how she was actually kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie. But I do like Regina Hall and Wanda Sykes. I thought all those women did a good job hosting. Maybe give them a little bit better material if for next time or whatever. But just in general, it was an okay show. It was forgettable. Well, it wasn't completely forgettable, but it was like I said, the Oscars are typically just a night where rich people in general just congratulate each other. That's all it is. Just one big rich circle jerk. You know. But that being said, though, I'm gonna end the stream now. Thank you for watching. This has been my thoughts on the Will Smith slapping Chris Rock incident from last night. If you're new to this channel, please like and subscribe. You don't have to comment. It's fine. I get it. You don't always have something to say. But please like and comment at least. Like the fuck out of this video. Tell your friends about it. Oh, and also before I forget, so this weekend is another big thing happening for this channel. It'll be the 1 year anniversary channel, 1 year anniversary for the AMBW channel. And it happens this Saturday, and we are celebrating starting at 11 a.m. PST. So if you are on the East Coast, that's around, I think, 2 p.m. East Coast time, 11 a.m. West Coast time, Central Standard Time, Mountain Time. I think that you guys are only like an hour ahead, so it's 12 p.m. Anyway, set your clocks accordingly, because we are, especially if you're a woman, you're gonna have a good time. I feel like you're having a good time. I'm planning something especially good that you ladies will enjoy. If you're a straight guy, what can I say? You're not gonna enjoy it. So just warning right now in advance. You probably don't want to watch it. Um, or maybe you do. I don't know. Whatever, you know. But just anyway. So yeah, just check it out. This will be this weekend, this Saturday. I will make another video before then, advertising to let people know officially about it, because you got to do that nowadays. But anyway, all right, cool. Well, this has been my thoughts. I hope you enjoy it. Stay safe, and I will see you guys next video. Bye bye.